Today we're sharing 100 different real estate lead generation strategies. And just remember, no matter where you get the leads from, you need to stay organized with your database as it accumulates. So whether you're building a list from scratch or looking to expand your network, stay tuned. We'll help you stay engaged and generate referrals on autopilot. This isn't just about strategy, it's the foundation of your real estate career. If you want me to send you the list of 100 lead generation ideas, send me an email. My info's in the description below. So if you don't know what a sphere of influence is, it's essentially anybody that you know by first name. You know them, they know you, and if you were to see them in public, you would either wave and say hi to them, or you might even stop and have a conversation with them. So the first thing you want to do is identify who's in your existing network. Every time you meet somebody, every time you do a transaction, and all forms of lead generation all boil down to one thing: building relationships so that you can generate a business that operates on repeat and referral. So think about all of the current friends that you have, all of the friends that they have, all of your brothers, aunts, uncles, parents' friends, your siblings or your kids' friends, any of your existing past clients, any of your professional contacts, etc. These are people that you want to keep in touch with on a regular basis so that they immediately think of you as top of mind in being the go-to real estate expert in your area. So one of the first exercises you want to do is go through all of your cell phone contact list, go through all of your social media accounts, and think of any and every extracurricular activity that you've ever been a part of since you've lived in the service market area that you are right now as a real estate agent. As you organize this list, you want to make sure that you actually reach out to these people as you do this activity, because otherwise it just becomes an administrative activity that either becomes so boring that you stop doing it, or you do it for so long because it's such a daunting task that you never actually reach out to anybody, so that you never actually have any active deals on the go. Although you might have a very shiny, fancy, organized list, you don't actually make money until you have conversations with people and turn them into appointments and contracts in real estate. So make sure that you prioritize. Put your closest relationships first as the people that you want to reach out to first. And of course, the people that are most likely to support you in your business need to obviously be the highest priority. When you're reaching out to these people, you want to have different approaches depending on how you know them. When you reach out, you want to strike up a conversation, but you want to remember who you're talking to when you reach out. If it's a loose connection and you're searching through your list, when you reach out, you want to make sure that you can remind them how they know you if you haven't talked to them in a while. Everybody says you have to have a CRM system, contact retention management system, which is true. But in the beginning, all you really need is one sheet of paper, fold it in half, and you can literally just put the names, one column, two columns, flip it over, and you've got 4 columns for each page. That's 25, 50, 75, 100 names per page. Now, if you are not familiar with what we call the 10% rule, what that essentially means is that if you keep in touch with, as an example, 200 people that you already know, and you invest in those relationships and you brand yourself to them as a go-to professional real estate resource, providing value in every conversation that you have, 10% of those people, in this example, 200 people would be 20 transactions. You should be able to do transactions with those people either directly or through referral. Now, one of two things will happen. Either you know way too many people, or maybe you don't know enough people. And either way, that's totally 100% okay. Just remember, your foundation, your building blocks, your number one, your step one is to build your top 200 list. So if you know a ton of people, try to sift through it as fast as you can to identify the most important, most influential, highest, closest connections that you have. And if you're building it from scratch, build it to 10, 20, 30, 40, 50, and then up to 100, but make sure that you keep quality contacts in there so that you can focus on investing deep into the relationships that you have, and then you can go ahead and do additional cold market prospecting on top of that, which we'll talk about here as well in a little bit. The idea is that if you keep in touch with these people 4 times per year, and in the old school it used to be 4 phone calls per year, but now you could phone everybody once per year, let's say in the new year, and then you could send everybody a text message maybe later on in the year to invite them out to a client event or some sort of get together or gathering in the springtime. And then perhaps maybe you could send them all a message or cross-check with them and engage with them on social media for the 3rd time that you reach out. And then maybe the 4th time you could handwrite them a Christmas card or a holiday greeting at the end of the year. But what's most important is that if you haven't talked to these people in a long time, don't pitch business. Don't talk about business the first time that you reach out to these people. If you want more information on how to say and what to say, check out this video next where I talk about the elevator speech when you bump into people you know out in public or you're having a conversation and trying to gear it towards real estate over time. But if you want to build trust with the people in your sphere of influence, especially those that you haven't talked to in a long time, you need to make sure that you have a lot of tools in your arsenal. You need to make sure that you're previewing property on a regular basis so that you have good knowledge and information from the marketplace that you can speak about when you have these conversations. But you also need to make sure that, like I said, first time that you reach out, what we call the 4-touch rule, okay? The first time you reach out, you're just re-engaging with these people to say, hey, I haven't talked to you in a super long time, just wanted to see how things are going. The next time that you reach out to them, you're gonna refer back to whatever it was the first time that you spoke about when you had the conversation before. Now you're just establishing to them, with them, that you plan on keeping in touch with them just as a regular human being would. The way that maybe you knew them a long time ago before life changed and evolved 10 different times through kids and family and work and school and everything else. The 3rd time that you reach out, you are now trying to do a little bit of a plug, but you're not right out asking for business or asking for referrals. Maybe you'll ask them how their work is going. They will ask you how your work is going. And then you will mention something about the real estate market very simply in passing. And if they don't ask questions or bring it up further, you move on and treat it the same as you did the first and the second phone call. 3 months later, when you reach back out again, now you've reestablished and reconnected and rebuilt that relationship, so you've earned the right to ask for referral. And it's really as simple as this. By the way, let me know if you know of anybody that's looking to buy or sell, or by the way, let me know if you know of anybody that's in the market. Be more than happy to help. And if you do that once, and you keep in touch forever thereafter and add value to the relationships and answer any questions that they have regarding real estate, and you share your network with them and you invite them to events, every time you talk to them thereafter, they're going to be asking you if you heard from the people that they sent you. And that's the next part of the conversation, which is teaching them how to send you referrals. The first one is they will say, I handed out your business card, but you want to be in control of the process. So you ask them to say, let me know if you ever know of anybody and give me a heads up in case they might be calling me. When they do that, you ask them for one of 2 or 3 things. You ask them, do you think that that person would mind if I reach out to them? And if they say, I don't know yet, or I don't have their contact information because I only work with this person, you can say, great. When would be a best time for me to check back in with you after you've chatted with them and maybe got their go ahead for me to reach out? Secondly, what you could do is you could ask them to create an introduction either by email, text message, or in person is also good. Once you've done that, you've set yourself up for success because you've added that one more layer of credibility saying, this person is introducing me, which adds credibility so that you're not just reaching out cold when you get that referral contact. Even if they do give you the number straight away, make sure that you reach back out to the referral source and say, can you make sure that the person who needs to sell their house has a heads up and that they know that I'm going to be calling so that they don't think that it's a cold call when you reach out. Now, when you're doing mass emails or newsletters to your sphere of influence, or if you're reaching out by text or by social media message or by phone call, make sure that you keep notes when you do this, because what will happen is you will start to notice trends on the relationship you have with this person or that person in terms of what is their preferred method of communication and what was it that I talked to them about last time that I had a conversation with them. And if you can remember that, they are going to be thrilled and they are going to be impressed and you are going to stand out. Here is a list of sources that you can use to jog your memory and add additional connections to your database that you might have already forgotten about. And this is a big deal that you could be leaving a ton of money on the table if you haven't already done this. Go through your old school yearbooks, any past clients that you've worked with in previous jobs, go to the neighborhood directories for anybody you know already that lives in the area, any local sports clubs or teams that you've played on in the past, parent-teacher associations for relationships that you've built with other of your kids' friends, parents, etc. Any religious or spiritual groups that you're a part of, any volunteer organizations that you were a part of, and if you're not, maybe you should be a part of some more of them. Local business owner networks is a great way to meet other business owners. You can also do likewise on LinkedIn. Former classmates from courses or seminars that you've been a part of, whether it's through previous work or personal development. Contacts from previous real estate transactions before you got into the business. Maybe you met a real estate broker or a lawyer, etc. Members of local hobby groups if you're into motorcycles or if you're into skiing or snowboarding, whatever it may be. Contacts from your local gym or fitness classes. My partner actually just did a transaction with somebody that he met from the gym. Community event participants. You should join your local community association. College or university alumni networks. If you used to go to college or play on a sports team, did you go back to think of all the people and the teams that you used to know before you got into real estate? Contacts from previous jobs or internships from school or previous work. Members of book clubs or reading groups, perhaps maybe join one if you haven't before. Local community boards or committees. The list goes on and on and on. If you want more information than the actual detailed list, send me an email. I'd be happy to send you it in a PDF format. And thanks again for being here today. Don't forget to like, comment, subscribe, and I will see you on this video next. Have a fantastic day.